Hello and welcome to Coming on Top, a podcast that dives deep into the world of sex, love, dating, relationships, and we also touch on the worlds of tech and culture. Each episode, we'll be tackling a different topic, looking at the highs, the lows, and everything in between. All those hard questions that you've always wanted to ask but were too afraid, we'll be answering them on this podcast. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing how the times have changed with sex and dating. Are there lessons we can learn from a few generations ago? What's changed for the better? And we'll also be talking about how, despite popular belief, your grandparents might still be getting some action. Joining me on today's episode is granny and grandson duo that have taken social media by storm with their hilarious TikToks. It's Grime Gran, Margie Keith, and Beau the Beard.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Little round of applause for us.
I hope you ain't getting action. Please don't tell me you're still getting action.
We're going to get to that, Beau. Don't worry. We're going to answer that question.
Oh, please.
Now, guys, for our listeners who have not had the joyous pleasure of listening to your content or watching your content on TikTok, please tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I stress her out, basically. That is basically it, isn't it? I give her a headache. That is literally it, isn't it?
But then it's soon forgot because all the tricks he does, I don't know what he's going to do. But after we've done them, I can laugh looking at them back and realise what he's done to me once again.
And how did you guys turn into a social media sensation that you are today?
So my brother, Rooney, does Risky Roads. He made Grime documentaries and used to do music videos for people and things like that. And then she started interviewing rappers, didn't you? Gets, etc., loads of other big names, and then basically I wanted to jump on the bandwagon.
So is that how Nanny got the name Grime Gran?
Yeah.
So it's from interviewing all the grime artists.
Yeah, but they'd both been on to me to do it a good few years before I did, wasn't it? And I wouldn't do it.
Right.
But then a few years down the line, it appeared that someone had heard of it and they done one.
Right.
And that made me fucking furious because I'd let Rooney down.
Yeah.
So I said, you still want to do it? And he said, yeah. And our first one we ever done was Ghetto, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's how it all started.
Oh, I love him. He's great, isn't he?
He's lovely.
I worked with him before.
Yeah.
He's a gorgeous boy.
Yeah.
He's got nice teeth as well now, isn't he?
Hasn't he?
Yeah.
Compared to when he started,
I had to copy him. Do you know what I mean? If I want mine to look like that, I'm gonna have to go get him.
Cheeky trip to Turkey,
Yeah,
babe.
yeah,
We can sort that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I even said to him, oh, you've had your teeth done. You're lovely looking now.
Oh.
And he took it in good part.
Yeah.
But then it just started, like while I was doing that.
Right.
And then you tell how you
It just went nuts. Like we went to COVID and then she was just moaning about COVID every day, like a proper old woman, day in, day out. And I said to her, no, Nan, you need to film yourself moaning and just whack it up. And then that was it. And then, then Arsenal asked her to get involved and watch the games. And then she was like, I got to watch it with Beau because I'm the football mad fan.
Right.
And then that was it. And then I just started documenting our life, basically, because everything I do now, I do to her anyway.
Yeah.
It's just my way of keeping her active. If it stresses her out,
Keeping you off the streets, Nanny.
Stress her out for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
She's not dead, is she? You know what I mean? Sorry.
yeah, he catches me all the time, but in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into it, let's kickstart with my sex fact of the week. Can you guess when the first sex toy was ever made?
Oh, you should know.
Oh, I should know. I wouldn't know because I've never been into sex toy. Never.
Sex toy.
Well, I can, yeah.
Yeah,
because
go on.
last year, Valentine's Day, Beau presented me with a lovely gift in a nice box. And me being naive, I thought, oh, he's bought me perfume.
Yeah, of course.
Unusual for you. You never buy me Valentine's Day. But of course, when I undone it, I got the shock of my life. It was a fucking dildo. And I can't tell you where that went.
No, I can tell you where it went because she told me. She said, go and give it to your missus because I ain't going to use it. So I had an easy night. I had a night off.
Did you get an earful for that?
Please,
Did you get an
I don't
earful?
want to know
Sorry.
about
But
it.
that's what we're here for. No, I gave it to my missus and I got to watch Match of the Day that night and I didn't have to do anything. Knock yourself out,
Liar.
mate. I would go on that.
Liar.
No, the first one.
So it's more a gift for you than for Nan.
More gift for my missus. That was lovely. The first, go on, have a guess.
I couldn't. I should imagine many years ago.
Many years. Just a ballpark guess.
I'd say about 60 years.
About 60 years
Yeah.
ago? Bo, what would you say?
Well, I ain't seen any on Call the Midwife.
You don't know.
Yeah, I've watched that. There ain't none on there.
Okay.
So what? 1980?
So you say 1980, so about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Nan's saying about 60 years
Yeah.
ago. Okay, so it's believed that the first sex toy goes back all the way to the Ice Age. Over 30,000 years ago, archaeologists discovered phallic batons in Germany that date back to this period. So they were made with bone, ivory, and teeth, which I think we're better off sticking with plastic, aren't we?
Oh.
Don't want anything made of bone going
Teeth
in
and all.
any orifice. So 30,000 years ago. I mean, I was quite surprised as well by that.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, well, I was more nearer than you.
30,000 years. Oh, what a bunch of dirty bastards.
But it's interesting because I think when most people think of sex toys, they think of it as like a new trend or a new fad. You don't really think
100%.
that it's been knocking around for 30,000 years.
Yeah.
So, Grime Gran, when you were a young girl, were things like sex toys part of the conversation with you and your girlfriends?
No, never.
Oh,
Never?
No.
for that.
No. No.
Bo, what's wrong?
I was waiting for her to say something like, yeah, I had this massive one
Fuck
I used
off.
to sit on.
Yeah, that's right. Not in your wildest dreams.
No, I couldn't. I can't cope with that. I can't. There's certain things I can hear and certain things that
Yeah.
will
No,
tip me
but
over
you're
the
all
edge.
right. Keep your ears open.
Yeah,
'cause
all right, go on.
I didn't
You
indulge.
learned something today,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't indulge.
No.
You didn't indulge. So even if you and your friends didn't indulge, did you ever hear other women maybe talking about them? Was it like a thing?
No,
No.
not when I was young. No.
So it's basically taken off more
Yeah,
after that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But
yeah.
would you have?
No, I wouldn't have.
Why?
No, I wouldn't have. Fuck off. Why?
What do you mean?
I would never
I'm just
be. I would
participating
never
in
be. I would. I wasn't then, and I wouldn't now ever be interested in them. No, I wouldn't. I might look in Anne Summers' window, but I don't go in.
Yeah.
I don't go in.
But the window displays are quite
But
nice.
very good.
aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Okay, now Gran, I'm going to ask you this question. How do younger and older people approach love and relationships today compared to when you were a young woman, do you think?
Well, I think when I was young, and you know, like you was approaching one another, and you had more respect. They don't seem to show much respect today. You know, it was an entirely different thing. You know, someone asked you out, and you know, you went out, obviously, and you knew within a little while whether you was going to sort of
You're
carry on seeing one another.
Lying is unbelievable.
Go away.
Ask her how she met my granddad.
How did you meet Bo's granddad?
Go on.
Well, I thought he was somebody else, and he thought I was somebody else.
How did that confusion happen to begin with?
Because I'd been seeing someone, and he'd been seeing someone. And me and a friend was out one evening, and I looked across the road, and I said, oh, that's Roy over there. That was the person's name I'd been seeing. And he looked over at me. And because he crossed the road, and he said, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. And I said, well, I did with you.
Yeah.
And then a little while later, we was at a club where they all went, and I just sort of met him again, and that was how we sort of met.
Oh, no. So you both thought you were other people?
Yeah.
So it was meant to be?
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So it was by chance that you met then?
Yeah, it was by chance.
And
yeah.
back then you'd meet just by when you'd go out?
But also, I was there in the pub meeting someone else, and so was he. And we got talking, and we both fucked off and left who we was waiting for.
Exactly. So much.
So you
for
stole each
respect.
other?
Yeah. Oh, no one's got any respect anymore. But oh, hang on, poor Ray over there was meant to be seeing her.
But,
Sacked him off?
Yeah, sacked him right off.
But there was still a lot more respect for one another,
Yeah.
I think, than there is today.
Did you
Right.
apologise to her?
Yeah. So,
Did you apologise to the other fella?
I never seen no more.
I rest my case.
And what do you think that young people today can learn about love from previous generations?
I think my opinion now, I mean, I'm getting on in years and that, and I think sometimes they fall in love too quick now.
Right.
They don't take their time and get to know one another properly.
Do you think it's love or do you think it's just a bit of lust?
I don't know, sometimes it can be a bit of lust, yeah, I think so, yeah. But they rush into things more now than we did in my generation. But that was it's entirely different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't earn wages like they earn now. So if we was going to go out for a night and we wanted to buy something, you'd save up for a couple of weeks. Now they just, I'm going to go and have that. And that's,
On a Monday morning at 10 a.m.
yeah, but that's life now, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it ain't for the better.
Do you know, I think it's interesting that you say that younger generation rush into things a lot more than us,
Yeah.
the older. See, my perception, and forgive me, I thought it would maybe be the other way around, where in previous generations there was a lot more pressure to sort of settle down, have a family, and sort of do that. Whereas now they sort of play the field a little bit more, and people are a little bit more.
Well, we would listen. Today,
Yeah.
women can go on the contraceptive pill. In our day, we couldn't. So you couldn't just rush in and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You know, you had your restrictions.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was, I think really it was better how we done it.
Yeah.
But that was then and this is now.
And Bo, we're from the same generation. So how would you say, because you're in a relationship, is that right?
Yeah.
And how did you meet your girlfriend?
I was really drunk one night in a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Had a bright green tracksuit on, bright blonde hair. It weren't a good night
miss
for
you.
me. Couldn't miss me. I had a beard down to here.
Wow.
Yeah, so you couldn't miss me. And then she followed me on Instagram the next day. And then I just, slid in. As you do.
As you do.
And we've been together since.
How long is it since?
Coming up to 18 months.
18 months. Okay. So you're past the honeymoon period then.
We're way past the honeymoon period.
Yeah.
Honeymoon period died after about 4 weeks. We're way past that. But no, we're very happy. I'm very much in love.
Nice.
I've changed my opinion on what love is since
Yeah?
I've met her.
What was your opinion before?
Not what it is now.
Okay.
Put it that way.
All right. So was it negative
that's-
before? Are you a lot more positive now?
I see things differently now.
I think
so
you're a lot easier now.
It's Mark's
though,
question
Bo.
to me. I didn't interrupt you, did I?
But I'm just saying, I think you're a
No,
lot
I think
easier.
it's a little bit different, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we've all met people, we've all been in relationships before, and you think, okay, cool, this is great.
Yeah.
Until you meet the one person. The one thing for me is, she's gonna love me saying this. I'm gonna get brownie points for this. Wait, give me 5. I'm gonna get brownie points. I think the main thing is like when you meet the one person, it sort of takes away your fears and your worry about everything. So like all this stuff that me and her do online and Arsenal, things like that, I never would have done before.
Yeah.
Because I was sort of worried, scared what people
What other
thought
people
of
would
me.
think.
And like I was quite happy and content in my job and that was it. Whereas now now I sit there and I think the only thing that would worry me now is a life without her.
Oh.
That's cute, that, isn't it?
That is
but
very
but that is the truth. Like so
Yeah.
now I worry about living my life without her. So everything else that I used to worry about before,
Doesn't mean anything.
couldn't care less. Like I'll go and do it, and if these things work out, they'll work out for me and her together.
Yeah.
And if they don't work out, then we'll put the pieces back together,
Yeah.
and then we'll just enjoy it when it comes to it. But I think I've definitely changed my opinion on love since I've met her 100%.
Oh, that's great to hear.
That was cute. That one.
That was very cute.
really. I'm gonna
Yeah,
write a
because
book.
she keeps him in line as well.
Oh, good.
No,
yeah.
she-
Oh, yeah, she keeps
yeah.
him in line.
She
Well,
does.
it seems like you were raised by strong women, so I feel like you do need a woman to keep you in line a bit.
Oh no, I do,
Yeah.
100%. I need
Yeah.
a woman to tell me, no, you're not doing this today. You're not
Yeah.
doing this. That's it. End of. Otherwise, I'm gonna go out and do what I want.
Yeah.
Whereas now I have that, and then that when a woman has that, and you can see that they're only doing it for your best interest, and they want the best for you and them, you learn that you just respect what they're saying. They're not trying to control you. They're not trying to tell you or control your life, but they're looking for things to make the pair of your life better.
Right.
And that's what it is. I've only ever had women in my life,
Yeah, see
unfortunately,
now you've
trying to make
used
my
the
life better.
sorry, you've used the word what I said, respect.
Respect, yeah. And Gran, would you think that the younger generation can learn about love and approaching love and dating that, maybe we're missing out on that you appreciate from your generation?
Well, as I said, I don't think you should rush into anything, Enjoy your life. Yes, enjoy your life. I'm all for like youngsters doing, what they do, get good careers, go on lovely holidays and things like that.
Right.
But don't rush into love too much. Let it grow.
You can't hurry love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he rushed a few times.
Yeah.
And it don't work. He did rush a few times, but it don't work.
We've all been there,
It
Bo. It's fine.
didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah.
But when you know, as he
Take your
said,
time.
yeah, it took him a little while
Yeah.
to realise, yeah, I am in love now.
But you know, can I ask you a question? So obviously, you see, me and Mickey have obviously been watching Call the Midwife.
Yeah.
I'm promoting Call the Midwife, by the way.
I was going to say, are they?
Hey, listen, I'm promoting Call the Midwife
gonna
and Dan
invoice
and Abby.
them all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a great
And the
program.
Arsenal.
But like when you watch the way a man used to approach a woman back then, it was so different. Like like the days of going for a dance, going for a drink, and all that, where it was just two people who could get to know each other. Like all of that's gone.
Yeah.
But was that actually real? So like someone would come up to
Exactly,
you and
yeah.
say, "Do you want to go dancing tonight?"
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And like, if they could afford it, you
Yeah.
went. But if you know,
Because
like...
I asked
And
Mickey
it was
to a
more.
hotel
It was
on
more
the
of a
first night.
treat, wasn't it? Like going out to a dance on a nice day. It was more of a treat. than-
Yeah, it was, because you think, oh, I'll save that. I won't wear that for that. I'll wear it when we go to
For a
the
nice-
thing, you know. And you take time and make sure you got ready nice, and that was that. It
Yeah.
was so different.
Yeah.
So
And Bo, you
different.
said that your approach to love has changed since being in a relationship. How has your approach to sex changed?
I want it more.
Well, you're not having it anymore? Or?
No, I want way more. I want more than what I wanted in the first place. I want way more.
Notice I'm covering
Yeah.
my ears.
Yeah, I've got to be careful what comes out of my mouth here, innit?
I'm covering my ears.
Oh, don't. So, okay, so you want more of it. So if you come to a point, so 18 months in, so they normally say that the honeymoon period lasts about a year. And I say they, I don't know who they are, but it's believed that the first year of a relationship is almost like a testing, like a trial run. And if you've gone through the first year, after that, then you're in the real relationship. So 18 months in, you're kind of in the real thing
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
So has your sex life gotten better, worse, about the same?
No, my sex life, my view on sex has changed 100%.
Oh, has it? In what way?
In a sense of that, I don't even want to say this, but like before, when you first meet someone, you just want, please cover.
Yeah, no,
What
Nan's
you-
not
no,
listening.
no, I'm joking. No, you can pull it out. You can pull it out. You just want sex all the time, innit? Whereas when you're in love with someone and you've been together for so long, I think there's more of a feeling. Whereas rather than having sex every night because you can and you should because you're together, whereas I look forward to it more, or we enjoy it more if me and her have gone out of a Saturday, we've had the best date, like we've had a nice dinner, we've gone for a walk, we've had a drink, we've gone Arsenal, we've watched it, and we've had the best day. So at the point of that best day's ended, all you want to do is get home and rip each other's clothes off, not on. I don't want to rip them back on. You want to rip their clothes off, yeah?
Right.
That to me is better now than just having sex all the time.
But that's meaningless with somebody who you're not.
No, exactly. But even when you first get together, like you said, when you first get together with someone, you're having sex all the time just because it's natural. Whereas now it's like, I would rather go out have the best day and then just can't wait to get back home and do it.
Fine.
As opposed to just being like, oh yeah, let's have sex because we're in bed together and it's what we should do because we're in a couple.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd rather have it, we've had the best day and all I want to do is go home and do
And
this.
go home and spend that quality, intimate time.
Yeah, basically, it's more, you might necessarily have less than what you are in the beginning, but it is definitely more meaningful and it's way more enjoyable. 100%.
So you sound like you have sort of quite traditional values when it comes to sort of, that intimacy and that connection with your partner. So in terms of dating, let's say when you guys were courting and you're getting to know each other, what was your style and your approach with your girlfriend? Was it more, would you say traditional, or did you because I know you exchanged Instagrams, didn't you? So that's quite a modern
Mine
thing.
and hers was quite weird compared to normal people. So
Okay.
we actually did what you said not to. We probably fell in love a little bit too, like, way quick.
Yeah.
So
How quick is quick?
Straight away.
yeah, basically,
Date
we started talking on like September the 5th, 8th. I asked her to be my girlfriend on the 18th. We'd spend every night together from the 5th to the 18th. And then we've probably, from the 18th of September last year to now, we've probably spent a maximum of about 7 nights apart.
Really?
And that's it.
Yeah. But that's a good sign. I mean, 18 months in.
Oh, 100%. I think to myself, if the person you're with isn't your best friend, then what's the point?
That's it.
Like, I want to do everything with her. So I never thought I'd want to go Arsenal with my girlfriend. That was literally like the last thought I ever thought I would ever come to.
taking
I'm
a
going
girl
to take
to the
my
Arsenal.
girlfriend to Arsenal because
Yeah.
it's boys thing. It's what I do with the lads. And
Yeah.
now I take her every week.
Aw.
Like, baby, you coming? Like, please tell me you're coming.
Yeah.
Like, I have a better time with her. And I think if you can't have that, then what's the point?
What's the point? And Gran, how was casual sex looked upon back in the day compared to how it is today? Like, what do you think the approach is in society?
Well, it was a lot different then. I mean, as I said, the girls couldn't be as carefree as they are today, because if young girls got pregnant out of wedlock, when in my young time, you know, it was looked upon, oh, you was a loose woman and things like that, and oh, you got to go in the mother's home and have that baby. You can't have it while you're at home, you know. Or they'd say that there's a shotgun wedding going on, and things like that. It was entirely different ball games.
So there's a lot more stigma attached, particularly with women.
Much more, yeah.
So you couldn't just meet someone and...
Well, you could meet someone,
But it's going to be frowned upon by everybody.
Yeah, you know, young women then, you never really heard of single mothers so much then as you do now.
Right.
You know, because like young ladies today, they want to have a baby, they have a baby, and they still keep their career, so they can still keep themselves. But in my young time, you know, no matter what job you had, it didn't pay what they pay now, and a young mum had it tough. So, you know, the parents wasn't as helpful as they are today. Let's put it like that.
Like grandparents in terms of helping out with the children and childcare, or...
Well, yeah, they would have done that, but you couldn't. You didn't want to just go home and tell your mum, "Oh, I'm pregnant."
Oh, in that perspective, right.
You'd be petrified at the thought of doing it.
And do you know any friends, any sort of female friends when you were younger who were sort of outcasted by their families for getting pregnant or
No,
out of wedlock?
I did know a couple that had to have a shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
And we laugh now, when you think of it now, we laugh. Oh, the baby was premature and the baby fucking weighed 8 pounds, you know, and it was premature. But, you know, no, there was a lot more stigma around it when I was young.
Yeah.
A lot more.
So do you think that's one of the things that maybe has improved in current generations, where there's less stigma with, you know, single mums or having children out of wedlock?
That is, because, you know, when I was young, to be a single mum was very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard, and it's not like that now. Society now just think, oh, she's a single mum, and you don't take no notice.
No.
But it's more normality now, though, isn't it? Like, if you look at my generation...
Yeah.
You're more shocked of somebody's parents being together than what you are them not being together. Like, parents not being together anymore is the standard. That's the normality.
You're more shocked.
That's the thing, you're more shocked.
Are
it's like, oh, my mum and dad are still together. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah.
But do you think that's a good thing?
No way. No, it should never be a good thing. Never.
So do you think we've almost gone the other side? Because it's like
it's gone
two
from one
extremes,
extreme. Yeah, we've gone from
it?
one extreme to the other.
To the other.
Parents should be together. Like, as a child, you want to see your parents grow up together. You want to have that. You want to have that stability, and you want to, as a child, you want to sort of grow into that. That's what you should aim to get. Everybody, at the end of the day, everybody wants family. Everybody wants someone they love to spend their life with. So if you can grow up in that sort of surrounding and have your home giving you that sort of love, care, and that like thing growing up, then that's what we should all grow up to want to be. But when there's so many people nowadays that just don't have that. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And mum and dad ain't together. Obviously, I was raised by her and my mum. Like, and now all I want
is the opposite of what you had.
Yeah, of course. And I think most people would. I think a lot of men want that, but I think there'd be a lot of men out there who probably wouldn't admit it as easily as I might say it, but I think that's probably what 99% of people want.
So do you think that's something that we in this current generation can pick up from previous generations about sort of coming back to those traditional family dynamics?
Yeah, I mean, even if you go on TikTok, like, how many times do you go on TikTok and you see a video of an old man and an old woman sitting on a bench holding hands, and the caption is, "We've still been together after 80 years." If you don't watch that and then think to myself, that's what I want, then something's not right with you. Like, you should learn from the older generation. Now, I've learned from them. Like, the way I've been brought up is the man would look after the woman. That was it. And you care for her, you look after her, and that's it. And I think that's how it should be. We should look at our older generations and think we want to laugh how they had it.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true, because, you know, like, I do things like I do, and you know. And it's just to prove to people that an older generation and a younger generation can get on.
Can meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, you can get on, you
Absolutely.
know. But as Bo said, like, family, I think, is everything.
Yeah.
It was in my young day,
Yeah.
and I think it should be today.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, Gran, are you single at the moment? Are you dating?
No,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I've been a widow for 30 odd years.
30 odd, yeah.
My husband was very young when he died.
Well, I was going to say he must have been if it's 30
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
yeah, I was very young when he died, but I was 49 when he died.
Yeah,
but
very young.
I wasn't interested in, you know. I mean, people used to say to my daughter, like a couple of the men, the stall owners up the road, that used to all shout out, "Oh, your mum's too nice to be on her own," you know. And she used to say, "Well, she don't want none." She don't want none, but I wasn't interested.
You weren't interested.
No.
How long were you with your husband?
We was married 30 odd years.
Well,
yeah.
yeah. And ever since he passed, you never wanted to explore anything new with anyone else.
No. As I say, me daughter was living there, and Bo's older brother was nearly 4, and then he come along, and we lived as a family together, and we brought them up together, me and my daughter.
Oh, nice.
We done everything together. I mean, we practically took them halfway around the world, didn't we, on different holidays, and I must say, I can pat myself on my back. I worked hard, and so did their mum.
Yeah.
And they never went without a thing.
Yeah.
Never. Did you, Bo? Never.
Love
No,
that.
but that's why I
Yeah.
say about, like, obviously looking at tradition, like a man providing for a woman or being the breadwinner. Not that that's the be all and end all, but when you've grown up where I have and you've seen your mum and your nan work their absolute bollocks off, the pair of them having 2 jobs, is you know what I mean? It's hard to watch. You know what I mean? I've seen she's been going out. What time you used to go out 4 in the morning?
Yeah, I passed 4 in the morning.
Well, working, yeah.
Yeah, mum would
Yeah.
go out at like 5, 6 in the morning, come home at 6 at night. So you look at that, and then from my point of view, you're sitting there thinking like, I wouldn't want that for the person that I'm with. Do you know what I mean? But then again, same thing. You look at the relationship that she would have had with my granddad. I never got to
experience
it.
that. Yeah.
But it was only ever love and happiness, and that's what we should all. So everybody
aiming
wants.
Yeah, I mean, you have your blues, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
No marriage is made in heaven. You all have
Right.
your things, but, you know, it was good. It was good.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And I say to these now, you know, he looks down and he must be very proud of both of them, you know. And
absolutely.
And I think, I hope he's proud of me because, you know, I think me and my daughter done a good job with both of them.
You've done a brilliant job.
Yeah, we did. But I mean, if I'd have known years ago I'd be doing something like this, I'd think, fuck it.
Life is full of surprises, isn't it? And it's like
truly
you said,
is.
you know, that there is space for the older generation and the younger generation
mix,
to meet.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it works perfectly. And I think that's why you guys work as well as you do.
Yeah.
You know, because
yeah.
and I was saying to Nan before you came on, like that grandparent and grandchild bond is so special.
Yeah.
It's different
It's
to like
a different type of love.
It's a different type of love, isn't
100%.
it? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
it is.
And a lot of us can identify with that connection with our grandparents.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I come from a big family. There was 8 of us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm the last one left now. But my sisters used to say to me, you love your children, but your grandchildren, and they used to say, you'll feel different when you've got a grandchild.
Yeah.
And I used to think, how can you? I love me
I
daughter.
love my daughter. I
you
can't
know,
love
how can
anyone
I-
else more than that.
But when they come along, I describe my love for my
Your boys.
grandsons as more an obsessive love.
Yeah.
You want to look after them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I still give them sweet money. You know, you think,
Yeah.
I can't do enough. I think it's obsessive love.
It is, yeah. And I guess it's different because, of course, and you raised Bo and your other grandson.
we helped. Yeah, we done it between
You
us.
done it between the two of you. But I think as a grandparent, you know, as much as you can help as well, you also know that you've kind of done your job in raising.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
just love them
You can
and
sit back,
spoil
yeah,
them.
yeah.
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 And then their parents can do
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
strict stuff.
exactly. And if
Yeah.
we didn't live with her, you could have given us back when we was naughty.
Yeah.
Is that one? Yeah, I'll take them back now.
I couldn't.
So guys, now Gran, society has changed a lot, as we've discovered, and we're living longer. Our health is getting better, which
Yeah.
means people are continuing to date, have sex, be intimate, well into their older years now. But there's still a stigma attached to older people having sex. Why do you think that is?
Well, I don't know. I just think that when you get to a certain age, you know, things should be sort of slowing down quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no, not a little bit of love, no.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think you put a little
You
bit
put-
of,
you-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you put a
So
little
do
bit of...
do you naturally start to lose interest as you get older? Is it or do you just think, oh, you know, I've been there, done that. I don't. Is it a conscious change that you feel as you get older, or
I just took it for granted.
yeah,
You know, you just take it in your stride. I think I could. There's a lot of people that can't.
yeah,
You know, I mean, like, sort of, like someone that has been married a long while, you know, and you see them, they're hand in hand here and hand in hand there. One of them dies, and the next thing you know, the other one's married.
Yeah.
And you think,
how's that?
how's that? But that's,
happens.
that happens, yeah.
So hookup culture is a big thing in our generation, Bo. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll agree, right? Not so much in previous generations.
No,
It was
no.
more frowned upon,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Why do you think that might be? Like, what is it? And Bo, you can answer this as well. Why is it suddenly in our generation we're a lot more, you know, liberated sexually, and it's sort of okay to kind of do certain things and without
I
shame?
don't know. From my point of view, I just don't think that it's not like, I don't know how to say this. It's not like sex is just, for our generation, sex is just sex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. Who cares? I'm a man, I need it. You're a woman, you need it. That is literally all it is.
Yeah.
It's just needs. It's like eating, it's drinking.
Yeah.
At some point, you need it fulfilled. You need to go and have it.
Right.
It's like the whole thing of men saying, "Oh, how many women
have
how
you-"
many men have girls slept with?" I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I couldn't give two flying fucks how many people. You're a woman, you need it. I'm a man, I need it. What's the difference between me and you? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
No, enjoy yourself, but obviously when you meet someone, like, I would never ask. I don't want to know. I couldn't care less what you've done before you've met
just
me.
want to deal with the
I just
person
want
in
to
front
deal
of
with
you.
who I'm in front with. Whether
Right.
you've slept with 1,000 people or one person, if I've fallen in love with you, I'm still going to love you, whether you're that person, you right, or saying yes or no.
Right.
And so a hookup culture is just, I mean, is what it is. Isn't it?
So we asked our audience about why they think there's such a stigma about, you know, older people talking about sex. So a lot of the answers were things to do with media representation and ageism. Do you think these are things, because if you think about, like, you know, whatever sex scene you might see in a movie, or whenever you see sex or intimacy being depicted on television, it's never from people over a certain age. It's always from a
or
younger
young
audience.
people, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not. And, you know, from my perspective, especially as a clinician, I see people of all ages. So I know,
Yeah,
and the numbers
yeah.
don't lie, that older people are still active and they are still having sex. But it's not reflected in sort of the media
Yeah.
and where we see it. So do we think it's a case of ageism that might
I
be
think it would
contributing
just
to it?
be a point that, like,
Or do we just not...
I think
wanna-
it would. I think it goes to whoever the individual person is, in a sense of that. It depends how old your nan and granddad is. Does that make sense? Because naturally, you would instantly think,
They're past it.
"Oh, my nan and granddad's like my nan's having sex or my granddad's having
God.
sex." Do you know what I mean? And that just sounds, when you say that
Like
out
that,
loud,
it sounds...
it just
Don't
sounds
sound
no,
right.
it doesn't, does it? It
No,
just it
it don't
sounds a
sound
bit
right,
It
no.
sounds a bit nuts, doesn't it? Oh, my nan's having sex, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
fact,
you
please
also-
do not do
yeah.
it. I'm not saying go and do it on Friday night, but I'm just saying I think that's what it is, that people would just say, "Oh, my nan's that age, my granddad's that age," and then when you say,
When you associate
like,
that...
when you
don't
associate,
wanna-
when you compare, it can be a lot to get your head around, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And then naturally, we're all humans, we all do it, we all start picturing things, it's impossible not to. Like, and then it just goes from one thing to another, and it's just like, oh, okay, this just escalated really quickly.
Really
Like, my
quickly.
nan just took her teeth out, and now I don't know where to go from here. But I think that's what it is for me. I think that is probably it. It's just you associate it with nan and granddad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, you know, you sort of think, as you start getting older and things like that, you're sort of slowing down and, you know, doing sort of
other
different
priorities.
things. Yeah, you got other priorities. But I don't know. Everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I
Everyone's
agree.
different.
So we also asked our audience how sex changes when you get older, with answers such as being too tired, like we said, after having sex with the same person for a long time, it might get boring. So, Bo, do you envision a time when you might get bored of having sex with the same person?
Absolutely not.
Or no?
No, not in
Has
a
it happened in the past before?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
with this one, absolutely not. Not in a million years.
You know, in a million years.
No.
So we're also finding now, Grime Gran, from your generation, I found that people would get married and stay married. So, like you said,
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
husband, you were married for 30 years
Yeah.
and you never remarried or anything like
No,
that.
no.
Whereas nowadays in our generation, we're finding divorce rates are higher on the increase. So we're finding there are a lot more single older people who are on the dating apps, on the dating
Yeah.
scene at large. Do you think? What's your approach with things like dating apps for an older lady or gentleman?
Well, see, I'm fortunate. I live with my daughter. We live together, like, and as a family. Like,
Yeah.
Bo's there half the week
Yeah.
with his girlfriend, and then the rest of the week he's not there. So I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I'm not lonely.
Right.
Because I think to be lonely, to me, is a killer on its own.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so no, if you want to go on these dating apps, then, go on it. Because you think they're getting on in years, yeah, but that don't mean to say they don't need company and to go out and enjoy
Right.
themselves.
Yeah.
So that I'm all for, yeah.
And do you have friends in your friendship circle who are dating?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone's packed up.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah.
up shop.
Yeah, they're all
Everyone's retired.
widows and shut shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, you guys are familiar with Love Island, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, there's a new show in the pipeline, which is essentially Love Island, but for slightly older people, maybe single parents, people who are over a certain age. What do you think of this concept? Do you think this is a good thing, or would you be up for doing a show like that, Grime?
I personally wouldn't know, but I wouldn't blame those that
do.
did, yeah. Yeah, I personally wouldn't.
No.
Sit around the pool in your bikini.
Yeah.
No, waiting for a Pretty Little Things modelling shoot to come straight afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He would be cracking that whip to
Yeah.
get those
Yeah,
contracts.
that's it. Pretty old thing. I'll be getting it for it, don't worry.
Pretty old thing.
Sorry.
Goodness.
Fucking cheek.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think Love Island is it's such a niche thing, is like you have to look a certain way, be under a certain age, and it cuts out the vast majority of the population.
It cuts out
like
most of the real people.
of real people.
Like,
Most people don't look like
I'm not
that,
being funny,
right?
but
Like,
how can you be 19 and then sit there and tell me you're ready for love?
looking
and
for
all
love.
That? And like, you don't know. You've not experienced nothing. You've not gone through pain. You've not gone through heartbreak. You've not gone anywhere. You've not done nothing. You're 19. You're not ready for this. You've got no experience to base what you're saying upon. No disrespect to them. Go knock yourself out. Like if I was 19 going back, I'd probably go and do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as we're sort of older looking at it, then the viewers, you'd be like, you're not experienced. You know what I mean? You've not done nothing in life to sit there and say, I want to fall in love. No, I'm sure there's some that want to, but the majority of them, man, nobody wants to settle down at like 19, do they? Let's be honest.
so do you think that sort of lived experience from an older audience, like older contestants,
I think it would just be more relatable, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you're talking to someone who's 30 years old, who's had their heart broken, gone through a divorce, got a kid, like you can relate to that person and what they're saying. Whereas obviously younger generation, younger people, 20, will be able to relate to what they're saying. But as the older people, and we all watch it, everybody's guilty pleasure is Love Island. Like,
Yeah.
we all watch it.
Yeah.
It's a bit like at 19 years old, you can't sit and say you're ready for love. So you meet someone now, you fall in love, what, you're tying yourself down for the next 71 years. Like there's very few people in this world who manage to meet someone at 19 and stay together. Like we've been saying this whole time. Yeah, exactly. Like back in the day they used to, but now it's very far and few between. So I just think if there was a little bit older and a little bit more relatable, we could.
Yeah.
we can enjoy it.
I think it would just be way more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like two people having a conversation saying, I see my kids of a Sunday, it's relatable.
Yeah.
Whereas someone going in there and going, oh, how was your day, man? What vibe have you got? Like, do you feel this connection? Or what connection? You've been in there 4 days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it would just be way more relatable.
And do you think it would be a good thing to have a show like this to sort of, give positive representation to older people as well?
100%.
Yeah.
Not everybody's got a
Yeah.
six pack. I ain't. I've got a beer belly and a dad bod. I couldn't care less. But no, not everybody looks like
that.
this.
Right.
But
They don't.
it'd be nice to see, like you say, the older generation. It'd be nice to see an older woman not running about in these costumes showing all their arse off. This is why I can't get my head round that.
Oh, what? Older women on TV?
You know, like this
Yeah.
Love Island, they're running about in these...
Oh, in the little tiny
And it'd be
bikinis.
nice to see an older person sitting there in a nice swimsuit and not showing their arse off.
So, no, that's a good thing. So do you think that we need more positive representation and normalising seeing older people looking sexy, feeling sexy?
Yeah. Well, why shouldn't you? You know, you have one chance of it. Look after yourself and make yourself look better. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah, but there's different types of sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy to you is going to be different sexy to me.
Right.
Like, who says sexy is a size 8 in a small bikini?
Well, this is the problem,
Like,
isn't it? Because you've got a small group of people at the top of a TV channel who decide what's sexy or not, and it's not the reality in real life.
That's not reality. Sexy to someone could be someone who's big, someone who's short, someone who's tall. Everyone's got their own version of sexy. So for somebody to sit there and determine, oh, hang on, this person who is a size 8, a size 10, who looks exactly like this is sexy. That's a load of shit. Like, everybody's got their own opinion on what's sexy. Sexy is different.
Because you look for something different in a person, don't you?
Sexy to you is Frank from EastEnders, isn't it?
Who's Frank?
Who used to go out with Pat.
Fuck off.
You used to say he was sexy, no?
Go away.
Yes, you did.
What, Frank
Oh, yes,
Butcher?
yes, you did.
Butcher?
Yes, you did. And you used to.
I've
And you used,
never looked at a
yes, you
man
did.
and said
And you used to
they're
like Patrick
sexy.
Truman. Stop lying.
Go
Yes, you did.
away.
Right. Everybody's got their own opinion on sexy, haven't they? Everybody.
Yeah, of course. So who is your celebrity crush, Grime Gran?
I know who that is. Yes, you do. When I say it, you're going to know who I'm talking about.
Go on then, say it.
Conor McGregor.
Oh, yeah, well,
If Conor McGregor gave her sex toys, she'd say, put the batteries in, I'm ready.
No way.
1,000%.
No
You're a liar. You're a
Piss
liar.
off. Piss
Yes,
off.
you would.
No, I do like Conor McGregor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like him, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, don't look at me like that. Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, my missus. I'm saving that. No,
We won't tell her, I promise.
have you seen the film The Ambulance?
Yeah, no.
Let me pull her up.
Oh.
Let me pull her up.
While you do that, Gran, so I completely agree with you. I think we could do with a show that actually represents all people of all generations, right?
Yeah.
In normal circumstances,
Yeah.
how you would see
Yeah.
in society.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing.
I mean, you know, like, don't think because like people as you get elderly or they're not capable of this, they've still got feelings,
Yeah.
and they still want to do things. You know, like I wouldn't dream of going out unless my hair was done and
Right.
my bit of makeup on. Well, that's me. I'm looking after myself.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of youngsters think, oh, look, she got makeup on for. No, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm all for that. If they'd done a show like that, I'd be watching it and enjoying every minute of it.
Oh, love it.
Providing they behave themselves, I would enjoy it, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
So we won't be seeing you on there anytime soon.
No.
But you'd be an avid watcher.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And you think it's a positive thing from your
I
generation.
should
So
watch
that's
it. Yeah,
brilliant.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we're craving real people and real...
Yeah.
Even things like Love Island, I feel like everyone's sort of over the whole, like you
Yeah.
said, just typical... They all look the same year in, year out.
I
There's
think
not
we
a
all
lot
watch
of
it just
diversity.
because it's on every night at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
and it
it's
saves,
just...
saves
you don't have
beating
to
through
think.
Netflix for an hour
Yeah.
for something to watch,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's just something to watch. You
Yeah.
can go on Twitter, read what everybody's saying.
But it would be nice to get a different alternative so that... Yeah, and I think this... Yeah.
1,000,000%.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the show
Yeah, so
and
am
seeing
I.
what they do with it, for
Yeah,
sure. Because
1,000,000%.
older people are definitely active.
Well, I hope they do it, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fingers crossed. Oh, I think it's in the press, so it might
It'd
be.
be good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So we're talking to our audience on social media as well. So we found that sex toys are actually less important with age, as only a quarter of older people see them as essential. So again, going back to what we're talking about, do you think that's more to do with actually it's more about intimacy than maybe necessarily achieving an orgasm or the pleasure of it, and it's more about that intimate side of things? So toys are not as
Toys are not, yeah.
Not a thing.
No.
And in the over 65 bracket, the number of STIs has increased by 20% since 2017. Why is there an increase in STIs amongst older people, do we
Because
think?
you're all fucking tough.
They should be behaving their fucking selves, let alone going around getting STV.
Could you imagine coming in one day, Bo, go round the chemist and pick me prescription up for my chlamydia tablets? What?
Oh, God. Oh, no. No, I'm not. But it's surprising me.
Yeah, no, it's on the increase, Nan.
Oh, wow.
It's on the increase, yeah?
Oh, dear. They need a smacked arse. Behave yourself.
Are you surprised by that number?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Yeah?
really surprised, yeah.
So when you were younger, were STIs a thing? Did you ever have a friend who said, "Oh,
Never
my
heard
thing"?
of it when we was
Really?
young.
No?
No.
And if anyone did have a problem, what would you do? What would be the first point of call?
Well, I don't think that I never know anyone that had a
had one.
problem. No.
Yeah. So
No.
how about your GP? Because I know from a lot of my patients who are a little bit older is that they find that if they've been living in the same town for a long time, they'll go to the same GP, but that GP knows everybody. They might even be a family friend and things. So when you were younger, if you did have, and not necessarily an STI, but just, as women, we get all sorts going down there, don't we? So would you go to like a GP? Would even that be a stigma if you had any sort of problems with your reproductive organs?
Do I have to sit here for this?
Yes, you do.
In most cases, if you did have to go to your GP for something like that, you'd always sort of want to see a woman.
Oh,
and not a man.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I can recollect. So, I got to go to the hospital. I got blah blah. Oh, I hope I see a woman.
Wow. So did you have something?
Oh, it could be anything. Like she said, your reproductive organs and things like that. You with me?
Both like, I didn't have enough drinks at the pub this morning.
That was as far as anything got. Not that you had STD
or
anything like that.
Yeah.
No. I think women are more liberated today than we was when we was young.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing anyway.
Yeah.
I really do, Yeah, I do.
No, I agree, because I think there's a lot of things that people would just suffer in silence, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
And then there's no education,
they did
no
in my younger day. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so that if you had even just a question about something, you just would not.
But not now. This is why I'm saying it's better. I think now women are more liberated and they don't give a shit and they do it. Where in my day we didn't. Like you said, you did suffer in silence.
Yeah. And how about within friendship groups? Were those conversations had within, a safe space?
I don't know. You might have told your best friend, your very best friend, and no one else.
Right.
And you'd swear them to secrecy or something like that. Yeah, that was more in my day.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. So I think that from what I've taken away, there's a lot of things that we have, that we are doing right in our generation, but there's a lot that you guys were doing right. So I think we need to sort of find that middle balance, don't we? Yeah. No, I agree. Okay, guys, so let's end with a quick quiz question, courtesy of our very own audience. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Whoever gets the closest answer comes out on top. Okay. We asked, could you ever get bored of sex? What percentage of people do you think said yes? And what percentage do you think said no?
I'd say...
I'm going to say 29% of people said yes, they could.
They could get 29%.
No, that's a lie. 29 said no.
29% said no, they couldn't get bored of sex. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the rest
said they could.
79. Okay. And Nan?
I don't know. I think the yes would be higher.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Did you say that? Yeah, I think the yes would be higher. But you got to have a winner, haven't you?
I need to have a winner. So Bo said 29% said no, they wouldn't
get bored.
They wouldn't get bored.
Yeah, and the rest said yeah.
And the rest said yes.
I'm
And
gonna
how many would say
I'd say 40%
40%
said yes.
said yes? 29%, did you say?
Yeah.
Grime Gran comes out on top. Well done, Gran.
Wow, what are the answers?
So the answer is 37. So 40 was the
I said
closest.
40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 37% of people said yes, they would get bored of sex, and 63% said no. I was actually quite surprised. I thought that was quite a high number.
That is quite a big high.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I can imagine it.
But I can imagine it though too.
I can imagine it.
Yeah.
As you get older, things just
Yeah.
priorities, you know. They
Yeah.
take place, kids.
Well,
life.
like Nan said, you do lose interest after a while.
Yeah.
For some people.
Depends who you're having it with, Nan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Should we get Nan on a dating profile?
Yeah, if my missus said she was getting bored, there's going to be problems.
Well, I'm the winner.
Grime Gran, it was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, darling, and I've enjoyed it all. And it's been nice to meet you and all.
It's been such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
Bo
you,
the
darling.
Beard,
It's been a pleasure.
such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you for having us.
And where can we find you guys? Where can we find you on socials?
My Instagram is at, mine's really long. Bo_the_beard, and hers is at Grime Gran.
At Grime Gran.
At
That's it,
Grime
nice
Gran.
and easy, yes.
Yeah, lovely. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave a review. And don't forget to tune in for the next episode.